Let's look at some more things you can do with arrays. So here's an interesting example of one thing you can do with them. You can go ahead and initialize the values of the array right then and there. So if you don't even have the variables created in the first place, you can go ahead and create the variables, tell SAS what the values of the variables will be, and create the array all in one fell swoop. It's kind of nice. One more thing to worry about is the fact that if you have character arrays, you need this character variable right here when you're defining the array itself. So if you want array test to have 3 variables, and the variables A1, A2, and A3 are character variables, they're going to take these 3 values here. We need that $sign there. So if I go ahead and print this out, let me show you what it does. It just prints out, see, now our data set has 3 variables in it, A, B, and C, and they happen to be stored in this array. I didn't do anything with array, I just put them in there so you can see. Here's one more thing you can do with arrays. Suppose you have a data set, this is my data set down here, and I've got 5 variables, gender 1 through gender 5. Each variable takes on the value 1 if it's a male and 2 if it's a female, and I would like to first store all of these variables in an array and then go through and count how many males and females we have for each observation. So for the first observation, for example, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 males and 1 female, and so on and so forth. So here's the syntax. I'm going to input the 5 genders, and then this is my card statement down here. Those 2 things go together. And then I'm going to create this array and store those 5 variables that I just created in this array called gender 5. I don't need a $sign because this is not a character array. Then I'm going to go ahead and initialize 2 variables, males and females, put them at 0. This is going to be the number of males and the number of females I have in my data set. They need to start out at 0. And then I'm going to create this do loop that is this long. And if gender I equals 1, so it's going to go through the do loop across the observation, across variables for a single observation. So if gender 1 equals 1, then males equals males plus 1. And you can see this first one is 1. So I started out with males as 0, now males is 1. And then I go to the next variable, and since that's a 2, then females gets 1. And then we go to the next variable, and then since that's a 1, now males is 2, now males is 3, and then males is 4. So males should be 4 for that first observation. And it does this for all of the observations at one time. I just wanted to kind of show you what it's doing without being too complicated. And so you can see in the end we end up with 4 males. 1, 2, 3, 4 males. And then this is the number of females, 1 female. That's a 2.